Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host Sahil here with Rahi, and we are doing another day of football from the world of football. Another day of football from the world of football. That's about right.
That works.
That's about right. So this weekend, Rahi, let's talk about some things that happened this weekend because there was some very, very important people in the news, and we're focusing on a specific national team, of course, but there was an important things that were happening from which national team, Rahi?
I mean, the story of the weekend has to be the reemergence of a young superstar, massive man, the goalkeeper, Mr. Altay Bayındır. I think you have to say it's the story of the weekend. I mean, what a redemption story.
Incredible. You see, he gets beat by a son, whatever we want to call that, earlier.
I don't know what that was. The corner. It's a
Olympico. Yeah. And then he comes around, and Mr. Bayındır said it himself, how quickly your life can change. And that's
the hero
thing. Yes.
It is a beautiful thing. And he's the hero, going from the villain, the GOAT, thought he'd never get a start again for Manchester United. And now the conversation is, should he start over Onana? Should he be starting for Turkey, right? Instead of a 35-year-old Günok? I don't know. Maybe it's early. But boy, the saves he made in this game. Should we just recap what happened? Because it was incredible.
We should. Recap the game. The score, we're talking about the FA Cup is what we're talking about. Arsenal, Manchester United. Rahi, go ahead.
Manchester United, who has the new manager, has struggled for many years now. And you thought no chance in this game against the Arsenal team that's played well. No chance even more because they were down a man. The game is tied. They concede a penalty. And Martin Odegaard, the Norwegian man who we've talked about, steps up to take a penalty. And you think this is the game. Right? 2-1, down a man. That's it.
Yep.
But not. It was not to be because, oh my God, what a save. Odegaard puts a penalty in the left-hand corner that honestly, not a bad penalty. Like, it was kind of in the corner. This is a tall man. He's huge. And he's able to reach across and save it. And I don't know how he saved it. But anyways, it's 1-1, extra time, penalties. And then what does he do in penalties?
A certain Mr. Kai Havertz steps up. And
I don't know which save was better. The Havertz save was incredible too, because what he does so well is he gets across, but he also gets low. A lot of goalies can't dive across, but also get down to the ground. Incredible, both of them.
It's funny in the commentary, the comments about the Kai Havertz penalty is like, oh, it was not a good penalty. I completely disagree. I thought that penalty was excellent. It's low. It's hard, and you look at it. Bayındır, basically, if he doesn't make that extra lunge, he doesn't get there. So it's a good penalty. It's just a great save.
It's a great save. It's an incredible save. And then he's the hero. And honestly, he deserves it. An incredible performance. Resilient from Manchester United. Resilient from this goalkeeper. My goodness. What a story. I mean, as you said, we were probably thinking this conversation, Turkey fans are probably saying maybe his time at Manchester United is over. Right? Yeah. Maybe he's going to go back to Turkey or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, who knows? The sky's the limit now.
100%. I mean, I think, okay, you mentioned it. So let's talk about it. By the way, I think we need to give a lot of credit to this guy because everything that Bruno Fernandes and everyone has said, he's an extremely positive force in the locker room, and basically, in the dressing room, he's not even playing, but he's always behind André Onana, always behind the team. So this is just a great thing that's happened to him, right? Like just in general. Yeah.
It's so nice. And this is why we watch the sport, right? These stories of people who do good, right? Who are good teammates, just waiting for their opportunity. And for him, he got the opportunity and he blew it the first time, right? There's no doubt he blew it. And you don't get second chances that often in this sport, especially at this level. And this was a second chance. Credit to the new manager for bringing him back, and credit to this man for taking the opportunity with both hands. What an incredible moment. What a good moment for Turkey as well, because maybe there are some question marks of late about conceding goals. They've conceded a few goals, losing to Montenegro 3-1. So you're starting to ask some questions.
Yeah.
maybe he's next in line, and maybe it's not too soon, not too far.
So that gets us now. We'll expand out to from the Manchester United heroics to Turkey. And
Mm.
firstly, Rahi, is there anything else you want to talk about from Turkey from this weekend? Because there was some interesting other performances as
Yeah,
well,
true. I
right?
mean, the funny thing
Yeah.
is, young Turkish players all had a good weekend. Kenan
Yeah.
Yildiz, of course, another big goal, just scoring golazo after golazo. Another big goal for Juventus. And, you might say, Mr. Arda Güler, quiet weekend. But if your team gets beaten 5-2 in El Clasico against Barcelona, the
Yes.
best thing you can do is sit on the bench. And he sat on the bench, never got into the game. So sometimes by not playing, you actually get the most out of the situation. If there's anything Real Madrid fans are looking around, they're saying, why isn't this kid in? Why isn't he playing? We've seen what he can do. Again, now a big loss to Barcelona, and you start to be scratching your head. Play the man. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen what he can do in the Euros. We've seen what he can do for Real Madrid. And yet
Yeah.
they continue with Mbappe, etc. I get it. These are big stars, but you can't lose a game like this. Now, the calls for Arda Güler to start are going to be bigger and louder and louder. So a good weekend for Turkish players all around.
Yes, and that's exactly what we talk about. One good weekend, one good performance. In this case, it was a big one in the FA Cup for Mr. Bayındır. Now we're talking, okay, Günok versus Bayındır. Who is getting the start in the next round when Turkey comes back to play in March?
It's hard because I think Günok's earned the right to leave on his own terms, right? When he says, I don't want to start anymore, that's when you bench him because of what he's done and because of, I mean, he probably had the save of the tournament, right?
In Euros.
In the
Yeah.
Euros.
Yeah.
And so he's 35.
Yeah.
I want to say that's still young, but it's not that young in footballing years. So he's getting up there. But I think he's got the spot until he says no. Now the question is, if Altay starts starting for Manchester United, which he could do, Onana's not secured that spot in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, I think you go with the man who has done it for you for so long. I think you have to show the respect to the veteran.
It's interesting. I think I agree with you. I think that's where we're at right now. But of course, Altay will get these chances as Manchester United moves on in the FA Cup. And a couple more big performances like this, you start scratching your head a little bit and being like, okay, who's getting the starting position? It's a tricky little position out there. But I guess for all of the Turkey fans out there, you have to acknowledge what was done by this guy this weekend. Let us know your thoughts on if you think he should start over Günok. And we'll leave it there.
What a story.
Yeah.
What a story for this young man, for this kid coming back. I love stories like this. This is why I love this sport. Ah, man. It was a fun one. It was a fun one.
Fun weekend for all you fans enjoying these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. For you Turkey fans or Manchester United fans, let us know what you think. If you think there's a goalkeeper conversation on either of those teams, let us know your thoughts. But for everyone out there, please keep watching the beautiful game and keep watching football.
You never know when your second chance is coming, so always be ready,
I'm not practicing. I'm going to be practicing.
Never know.
Practice my soccer skills.